Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Mariam Lemu. I'm the head of HR and the hostel administrator. Welcome to the New Horizons family. Welcome to the Nhc Experience. I will be giving you a guided tour of the history of New Horizons College to date. Now, why was the school established? It was the aim of the trustees and the proprietors of the school that we would be offering high quality education with a focus on building a very solid moral foundation for our children. We have been experimenting for about 25 years, various ways and methods of instilling values and good Islamic principles in our children, and we constantly work on evolving and growing. The school was established in 1995 with 14 male day students. By 1996, 17 female day students joined the school. By the year 2000, we had 58 boys become the first set of boarders in our college. Today, New Horizons College has about 454 students, both boys and girls, and about 40 of whom are day students. And so far, alhamdulillah, we have graduated about 1,200 learners. We have also been privileged enough to have been bestowed the award in 2013 of the best Islamic secondary school in Africa by GPU, based in the United Kingdom. We have two hostels, one for the boys and one for the girls. And the compound is filled with beautiful greenery, lots of vegetation, and fish ponds with goldfish in them. The hostels are being upgraded to a standard where all the rooms are fully tiled with LED lights and suspended ceilings. So the children will be in an environment where it's very spacious and it almost feels like home. The classrooms are also very well lit, very spacious, and the teachers are given the liberty to arrange and rearrange the classroom to suit their needs. In fact, many teachers take the children outdoors to teach them their lessons, again in the courtyards and under the shades of the tree. Oh, and yes, boys and girls are taught separately, including during sports. They play sports on separate days, and Islamia. However, whenever they come together, we monitor them very closely to make sure there's no inappropriate relationship that starts from there. Our laboratories are fully equipped with science equipment, and we have smart boards in every single laboratory. We have a huge library with thousands of books. And in the hostels, the students have their bus library where they get to relax and read any novels they want. However, we screen novels to make sure they are appropriate. In the computer department, every student has a laptop to themselves, and we always work on improving their IT skills. We have coding going on, as well as learning how to develop apps and so many other things, which you will find out more about. The mission statement of New Horizons College is high academic excellence, broad general and Islamic knowledge, and high Islamic moral ethos. In New Horizons College, we aim to go beyond academic excellence, beyond creating A-class students, to nurturing A-class human beings who will not only learn life skills that will help them live, but most importantly, help them thrive and contribute to humanity. We use Islamic values and principles as a guide, and we teach them to hold Allah first in everything they do. Parents bring their children to New Horizons College for moral ethos and character development, tarbiyah. We are constantly doing research and finding new methods and approaches to character development and character building. We put all our staff through formal online training on character building, including and especially the hostel staff who spend the most time with the students. And there is constant capacity building going on in the school in this area in particular. So how do we go about achieving this goal? We make sure that our staff who are trained are involved in counseling the students and redirecting any negative behavior and then reinforcing positive behavior when they see it. However, we also involve students in peer-to-peer counseling, and if they happen to have any siblings in the school, we ask them to also join hands with us in counseling them. We involve parents whenever we see them exhibiting very good behavior and when we are concerned about any negative behavior that may be developing. We call you and we ask you to join us in counseling your children. We also invite others from outside, some from overseas, to come and join us in teaching values, morals to our children, and also counsel them whenever we have an opportunity to do so. We have Quranic Circle, which goes on a weekly basis, where the children gather together with the staff concerned in the hostel, and they discuss verses of the Quran and, most importantly, how to apply it in their real life. They also watch short videos and lectures and tafsirs while in the hostel and have discussions on character and morals. Every 2 weeks, the staff submit names to the principal so that he will commend them on the assembly ground for things such as helpfulness, humility, sharing of knowledge, and anything related to good character and good conduct. The students also have class circles organized by the hostel staff where they talk about issues to do with character and behavior. And then we make sure that we update you, the parents, whenever the children are coming home through their hostel comments so that you are aware of how they are developing and any issues that we may want you to assist us in counseling them on. Now, discipline in New Horizons College. We make a big deal out of small things because we feel that the timely intervention will slow down or completely stop any misconduct or misbehavior. We have various methods of dealing with disciplinary issues. When the hostel staff observe any behavior that is not acceptable and there are rules and consequences, they enforce the minor disciplinary measures. We also have a disciplinary committee that deal with more serious issues, and the various sanctions range from written detention, physical detention, or even suspension, and sometimes, sadly, it may lead to expulsion. However, we have also established what we call a class court, which has been a tremendous contribution to helping curb and slow down disciplinary cases tremendously, where the students get to sit and deliberate and adjudicate on one of their peers who has been misbehaving. This has helped them not only walk in our shoes to see how difficult it is to actually give a sanction out to somebody they are very familiar with. However, the most important thing we noticed is that it is rare for a student to repeat that offense. Why? Because he doesn't want to be ostracized or she doesn't want to be pushed out of the circle of her peers. The school has a zero tolerance to bullying, to lying, to slander, cheating, stealing, and boy-girl relationship, and many other things. And however, we investigate those cases thoroughly before we give out a sanction. We ask for parents to support us when it comes to raising our children. We ask for you to back us up on various cases, especially when it comes to do with discipline. We have received support from many parents. We had a girl who was misbehaving very badly during term time, and by vacation day, the father asked the girl to come home via public transport. There was another student who was playing around during term time, and by the time exam time came, he failed his papers. He was asked to repeat. The parents supported the school's decision, and alhamdulillah, by the time he eventually graduated, he was in the top 3 best graduating student for his set. There was another boy who extorted money from his juniors and would ask them to go and buy him things in the school shop. When the father heard about this after the juniors reported, the father asked that the boy should not only do another digging of height, which was the sanction we had asked the boy to do. So in other words, he had to dig his height twice. But on vacation day, the father asked him to stay behind one more day. Then when he came home, he had to work on a construction site and earn a daily pay rate, a day rate, so that he would refund the father the money that he refunded the students whose money was extorted from them. Then there was another student who was developing airs of arrogance and intellectual laziness. On vacation day, the mother sent a kekena pep to come and pick him up. And we saw a tremendous improvement in the behavior of that boy as he continued his journey in Horizons College. Then we had a special case of a very, very stubborn young man who hated the school from the day he arrived and pulled every trick in the book to try and get expelled. The mother came to the school one day and she told us, do whatever you have to do. If you have to give him the cane, go ahead and do so. I only have one request. Please don't kill him. This support that we get from parents has been what has given us the strength and the ability to achieve our goals. So we ask you to please back us up. If there are things you don't approve of, please let us know. But we do need you to support us in trying to achieve our ultimate goal of molding their character, instilling self-discipline in them, and making them, inshallah, good Muslims and good citizens of the world. The outcome of these disciplinary measures has helped us see a tremendous drop in disciplinary cases. In the past, we would sit maybe 2 to 3 times a week on disciplinary cases. Today, We hardly sit maybe 2 to 3 times in 3 months during a whole term while the students are in school, alhamdulillah. And those who refuse to change get weeded out, protecting others from being influenced by them negatively. It is not to say that the child is bad or has been condemned, no. But there are rules, and if these rules are broken and not enforced, and the consequences don't kick in, then they are just words. That is when communities and institutions break down. Years later, many of the students who have been affected by the disciplinary system of the school come back and say thank you, that is what helped them thrive out there in the real world. Now, many have accused us of being heavy-handed. Sadly, parents who bring their children to our school because of the disciplinary measures that we put in place, when the long arm of the law lands on their doorstep, they turn against the school. We ask you to please understand that what we are doing is in your child's best interest, and this is how to make sure that we achieve our ultimate goal. So we appeal to parents to remember that we as Muslims have been asked to stand up for justice, even if it's against ourselves or our next of kin. So our relationship with you is about a true partnership, because close monitoring of the children while they are at home, of their conduct and how they relate with others, the kind of friends they mingle with, is very critical. Why? Because we monitor whom they move around with, and we talk to them, and we observe any behavioral change and try to make sure we address it and nip it in the bud. We also make sure that we find various ways of monitoring what they are reading, what they put in their tablets, and so on. However, we ask you to also back us up at home. Why is this important? Because a lot of the kids that show negative behavior in school often have been influenced by things they watch and what they listen to at home. We monitor what is in their tabs. We monitor the books they read, and there are serious consequences for violating this. If they put anything in their tabs that we do not approve of, they go home immediately. So this truly is about a partnership where we back each other up, and communication is key. We have parents who call us and tell us that their child did this while they were home, and they want us to monitor them closely and make sure that that behavior stops. Your child is going to be in a confined environment for the first time and in a very diverse social setting. Certain behavioral traits that do not show at home will most likely be exhibited in the school due to the various pressures and people they mingle with. We ask you to trust us when we tell you we have observed certain things we're concerned about, that there is a strong possibility that because the climate at home did not require or bring out that it's not a reality. We ask you to trust that we have their best interest at heart, and that if we join hands, inshallah, our children will turn out well. Once again, we ask you to please clarify and ask us whenever you hear anything that you're not comfortable with or that is disturbing to you. We sensitize our students about what is appropriate and inappropriate. We have CCTV cameras everywhere, and the hostel staff do random inspections at night to make sure the students are not hopping from room to room or bed to bed. We see immorality everywhere, in reality TV, in popular TV shows. They have access to pornography at their fingertips, and there is no censoring, sadly, not even by parents. A parent calls and says, my child doesn't have a phone, but what about their siblings' phones? What about relatives or friends they may hang out with? I remember a parent actually say that he confiscated his daughter's phone, not knowing that the other parent gave the child a phone secretly. And that was how we got to find out that she had access to things that were immodest and inappropriate while at home. We hold each child as an amana, and we guard our reputation jealously. My 2 boys graduated from New Horizons College. The principal's daughter just graduated, and he has other kids in the school. My brother has 3 children in the school. Our vice principal has 2. We promise you that we do everything in our power to make sure that our children are safe. The thing is, this is just the reality of the times we're raising our children in. It is everywhere. On social media, on television, where bad is made to look okay and good is made to look uncool. Our kids have been desensitized. We're the ones that are shocked when we see things today, even though it's not new. Once again, this is about a true partnership. We're now an NHC family. We ask you to have confidence in us and trust us that we have used methods for the past 25 years to raise and mold our children, and wherever they go around the world, they stand out. Welcome to the Nhc Experience, where we go beyond academic excellence. Your children are going to learn how to give nasihas, how to pray in congregation and know the rules and etiquettes of that. Your children will have an opportunity to learn about community service. They'll be feeding al-majiris, going to the orphanage, entertaining them. Our children have raised and used their pocket money to buy goodies and also books for children in the orphanage. We're going to teach them about planting trees and the rewards that are involved in that. Our children have filled potholes in the neighborhood and they have cleared the gutters. Your children are going to learn about leadership and that you don't need a title to lead. Each and every one of your child that goes through New Horizons College will be given intensive leadership training. We pride ourselves in our cheat-free exams and tests. Throughout the 6 years, your children will learn to pass with dignity and fail with honor. We make sure we instill in them values that they will read hard and the results they get is based on their efforts, not finding shortcuts in life. We're going to put them through premarital counseling and give them tools to equip them in how to survive in tertiary institutions and how to relate with members of the opposite gender. We're going to give them personal development courses. We have a motto: we work hard and play hard, and our children come to this school to have fun. They learn sports, all sorts of sports, and the girls thrive in sports. They're going to learn mud fishing. Yes, they're going to go into the mud and pick up fish with their hands. They get to play and have fun and enjoy their youth. However, they get to evolve and transform into dignified, beautiful souls, inshallah. They're going to go mountain climbing. They're going to go hiking. And don't worry, they're going to eat well. Your children will not be hungry. They get about 6 meals a day. Yes, 6 meals a day. They have pre-breakfast, breakfast, lunch, pre-dinner, dinner, and post-dinner. So you can rest assured that there's nothing to worry about. They get to climb trees and monkey about and enjoy their youth. Your children are also going to go camping. Yes, they're going to sleep with the stars as their blanket. They're going to learn how to swim and fish and have an amazing experience in New Horizons College. Now I'm going to share with you the laundry list of things you need to know. The school has 8 nurses and we take them to a local clinic in Minna and we have excellent doctors there. If your child has any allergies, we ask you to please make sure they bring a medical report. However, we ask you to encourage them to try new foods. Just because they come from places where certain dishes are not being served, please encourage them to try new dishes. If your child has a medical appointment, make sure you schedule it during holiday time. However, you do need to send an appointment card if it happens to be during term time, though we highly discourage this. We don't allow the children to make phone calls home. However, when they are new, we do allow them to make phone calls after the first week and the second week and just before visiting day. Visiting day is the only time parents are allowed to come to the school. If you pop in during regular weekdays, unfortunately, you will not be allowed to see your children. Visiting hours are from 9 to 5 p.m. and you're allowed to bring perishable dishes. However, it shouldn't be so much that they cannot consume it within a day. You can also bring snacks and other things. Again, shouldn't be something that will last more than 2 days because provisions are not allowed. We ask you to encourage your children to open up before visiting day. They shouldn't wait until they see you before they complain about issues. The hostel staff reside in the hostel and are there 24/7. So they should always walk up to them and never fear any form of retaliation from anyone because we are very discreet in how we handle cases. Resumption time is between 8 and 5 p.m. However, we ask parents to please make sure their children resume in good time. The PTA begins at 10 a.m. and we ask parents to be very punctual for this because as soon as we finish the PTA, you get to see your children. No parent is going to be allowed to see the children before PTA is over. There is a school shop where children can buy snacks and whatever else they want to buy. However, we do operate on a cashless society, so please do not ever give your children cash to bring to school. There is a pocket money account where they can deposit their money and then they're able to withdraw it from there. Please always remember to read the newsletter sent to you by the school and always read your child's hostel comment. If they come home at the end of the term, they are meant to come home with their report sheet and their hostel comment. Now expect a lot of drama on visiting day and on vacation day. You're going to hear everything from my socks were stolen to my boxers are missing, my soap was used, my spray was used, my shoes are missing, my iron is missing, and this and that. Now, children are very careless. Yes, we know some kids take property without permission. However, if it is reported, we investigate, we trace, we search, we find, and we make sure we deal with cases of kids who take things without their permission. However, if they do not report and they go home without these items, if they are found, they will be fined. The children leave behind a gazillion personal effects, and you will see from these pictures that we have mountains of clothes at the end of term that kids leave behind. This gets worse when parents come to the children's rescue. You will hear a parent say, "Don't touch my child's pocket money. Don't find them from there. I will pay." We have a parent whose daughter left behind about 9 items, and on the day of resumption, when she came to reclaim those items, the father had her pay everything from her pocket money. And that year, she didn't have a dime to go to the school shop with. Before she graduated, she was so careful to make sure every item she went with was complete. You're also going to hear your children say, "We're not allowed to sleep on time." Lights out is at 10 o'clock for juniors and 10:30 for seniors. So if your child is up after lights out, it is their choice. And if they don't report because somebody sent them on an errand, we can't do anything about it. You may also hear we don't have hot water to bathe. They chose not to get it. There's a lady who comes and boils water for every student, and the water is sufficient. So rest assured, it's a choice. They may say we get woken up at 3 in the morning to bath or pray. Trust me, that is not the case. Depending on the time for prayers, we adjust and make sure they have 30 minutes to get themselves ready and go and pray in time. You may hear that food is not enough. Again, trust me, food is enough. Or the tour in school is not the same as the tour at home. We hear everything, and you will hear everything. But again, if you need clarification on issues, I ask you to please call us and we will set the record straight. If your child complains of bullying, we ask you to report immediately to the school. We promise you it is a policy in the school that we have a zero tolerance to this, and no child should be intimidated by anyone. So please make sure you encourage them to speak up. That's the only way we can nip this in the bud. Finally, when your children return to school, make sure they bring back everything that's in the joining the instructions, such as their buckets, the proper shoes, and every other item that is listed there. For the boys, make sure they get a haircut, a very low haircut before they resume. Otherwise, they will be sent back to go and get a haircut before they're allowed into the school. And then if your children leave anything behind, you need to call the school immediately to let them know. Now, we want to thank all parents in advance for supporting the school, for encouraging us to continue to do what we've been doing for the past 25 years. We thank parents who, after their children graduated, still keep in touch with us. Parents who give constructive feedback, parents who call us and give us suggestions on how we can make certain things better, parents who call the school to clarify and get the real facts as they are. The New Horizons College brand has become what it is today by nothing other than Allah's blessing, alhamdulillah, and the hard work and sacrifice by the staff, the sleepless nights by the hostel staff, and the care and passion for the work they do and care for the children. Alhamdulillah, we've been surrounded by great leaders, led by our principal, Alhaji Mustafa Masood, who has taken us to where we are today, and the vision of the founding father and the founding mother of New Horizons College, Dr. Sheikh Ahmed Lemu and Hajia B. Aisha Lemu of late. Our prayers and hopes that you will encourage your children to settle down, because we promise you when they arrive, they're going to have an amazing time, a wonderful experience. They're going to be welcomed by their seniors. They're going to go through treasure hunt and all sorts of fun stuff. And in no time, the tears will be turned to laughter, joy, and love, because they're surrounded by big brothers and big sisters. Inshallah, 6, 5, or 4 years from now, you'll be coming back to Horizons to take young ladies and young gentlemen who have transformed, who have evolved, who have upgraded to become the best versions of themselves, inshallah. We've been privileged enough to also have New Horizons College students marry one another. And alhamdulillah, there's nothing that brings us more joy than that. May Allah bless you for your decision to bring your children to this school. May Allah continue to guide all of us to fulfill our obligations to our children and to raise them in the best manner. We thank you for this trust. Jazakumullahu khairan. Welcome to the New Horizons family.